Let's talk about reloading for our little friend, the 5.7 by 28 millimeter. Now, if you go around on YouTube, you'll only find about 3 or 4 videos of people, and they give you their tips on how they do it. How true this is or whatever, I'm not quite sure. The first problem with this gun, well, first of all, you can find bullets, okay, in this size range and the right diameter for this, and powder is available. There's, the guys tell you what powder they use in that. So it's not impossible to reload it. It's just with the current cost of reloading components and availability of gunpowder, this round's kind of expensive to begin with, more expensive than our friend the 9mm, and why a lot of people don't reload the 9mm is with the cost of components. You're only saving maybe $1 a box and going out and buying factory ammo. Okay, so 9mm really isn't being reloaded, and neither is this thing. I've been asked by several people, and I have not owned a firearm in the 5.7 caliber. So I don't like reloading unless I have a firearm that I can reload and put it in there and test it. So I know very little. So about reloading this cartridge. So there's not a problem with getting dyes. There's not a problem with getting the bullets, the cases, the primers, there's no problem there. Where the or the powder, there's some sort of powder that'll work in this. I haven't researched it or investigated, but these people do tell you what powder they used. Where the issue comes in is they warn you that there is some sort of a light lacquer, clear lacquer coating on this brass. So the first step is, with the fired brass, is this one guy deprimes it, takes the brass, puts it in an ultrasonic cleaner. I forget which company makes that, but he puts all his brass in there and cleans the brass that way. Not in a vibratory case cleaner using corn cobs or media, and no, which my favorite is wet steel tumbling with the little stainless steel pins. You can't do that. You can't clean the brass with these normal methods that I use. It'll remove the lacquer, and then the cartridges will stick in the chamber, which I had one kind of do that to me testing. Or if you look at a 50-round magazine, these cartridges go into the 50-round magazine like this on their side, and then when it gets to the end, it feeds it. Somehow they're rotated around in that mag and fed in like that, which makes sense that there's some kind of a sealant or lacquer or something that this will glide. You run your finger on there. I don't know how true it is. I run my finger on there and you can feel it is smooth, kind of slick. So the issue there is he uses the ultrasonic cleaner and cleans the brass, sizes it, does everything normal. And again, because it is a smaller cartridge, you have to be very careful not to crush the shoulder, and it's pretty thin brass. You have to be careful, and it's anything smaller when you reload is more difficult, okay? It's as simple as that. So there are those issues. It can be done. The guy does it. And he states that he can get 3 reloadings. So I fire it once and he can reload 3 times before this lacquer wears off or burns off and it becomes unreloadable. Okay, not because the brass wears out, because whatever this lacquer coating is wears off, and then it doesn't function well in the guns. And there was a second guy that what he would do was deprime them, put them in a bag with soapy water or something, and then massage them with his hands, and which to me is insane, pain in the ass. And if you go on a gun broker, you can find this once fired brass all over the place, dirt cheap, okay? So there is some sort of issue about reloading this where it's kind of difficult or problematic. So that's another downside to this. 9mm is simple as hell to reload. 380, which is a bit more expensive than 9 right now, but very simple to reload, not problematic. I loaded thousands of rounds of it, fairly easy task, and the gun, it works. This here, I don't know. So that's kind of another downside and something to think about. If you're an avid reloader and you save money shooting by reloading this, it's not that it can't be reloaded or you can't find components or dies. It's something about this brass is not very friendly towards reloading. How true it is, I don't know. And I don't intend to reload for this because truthfully, after I kind of test this one gun and test out this cartridge a little, to me, I'm starting to think this is kind of a fad and it may phase out, kind of like the 32 H&R mag, and now they got another 32 that's even more powerful. It's a nice concept, it's a nice idea, but it never caught on in popularity, and finding the ammunition is difficult. Some of these odd calibers, and reloading for it, you could. I know Starline makes brass for it, but you don't see a lot of these guns around. Or every now and again somebody will ask me about it or reloading ammo, and I never did because I never owned one, and brass is a little hard to find and expensive, and it's a good cartridge, but it kind of fell to the wayside because it's not popular. And I don't know if that'll happen with this one, but it may. It's, only time will tell. All right, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.